5, 4, 3.
Coming to you from the Poorly Painted Studios in Cumming, Georgia, this is the Chcuck Zee Show. And now, here's Chcuck Zee.
What up, everybody? Welcome to the Chcuck Zee Show. Of course, I'm Chuck.
I'm Zee.
And with us, as always, is Producer Chaos.
Hello.
Miss Sharon Klein.
Hello, sir.
I hope everybody had a great weekend. We did. As a matter of fact, all of us went down to Tybee Island with some friends. All three of us. The whole crew. Producer Chaos in the back of the TRX. Judging us for our music the whole time, but it's okay. It's all right. But anyways, she was giving me a hard time a few times. She's like,
she was complimenting.
She was like, it's a very interesting mix of music here you got.
I like that it was diverse. You had a little bit of everything, 70s, and you had rap and you had slight, what is it, yacht rock, and then like not yacht rock, but like music that you could listen to on the beach. And I'm just like, you never know what's coming. Like you really don't.
You don't. But he likes to skip around a lot. So whenever he's a DJ, I'm like, he always skips songs that I just want to jam out to. But like he won't want to listen to them. And so like, but it's his truck and he's driving. He's the show.
But
he's the pilot.
Just if you were to say, hey, I wanted to hear that song, I'd go back.
Mm-hmm.
No, but you shouldn't have to. You're right. I do that. I get bored in the middle of a song. Like I'll be listening to a song and it's like, okay, I've heard this too much. And I'm done with it. And the end of a song where it kind of just repeats the same
I love it.
thing.
We need to get to the end.
And over, I get bored. It's my ADHD, I'm sure.
You know what?
That's what all the kids have today. I'm sure that's what I can blame it on. When I was a kid, it was just being a bad kid. Today, it's ADHD.
No, I will say it came in very handy when we were doing karaoke because Chuck did some very good rapping. I just want you to know. He knew all the songs.
Nobody has video of that, thank God.
That you know of.
That you know of.
That I know of. All right, so listen, y'all. We could literally go on the whole hour about Tybee Island. It was such a great time. Enjoyed it down there. Good friends. But we have some very special guests on the show today. And I'm actually going to kick it over to Zee to do the intro.
Yeah. So joining us today are Brandi, Moya, and Kristen Lassen from Daughters of the Road. And we're really excited to have you guys on the show. So welcome, ladies.
Hi. We're so excited to be here.
Yay.
I know we were talking about this kind of before the show, but I always refer to her
Kristen.
as Lady Lassen.
Yeah.
Because I can't help it. I think I've mentioned that before, that when I meet someone that I originally met on Instagram and then I meet them in real life, I don't know why I cannot process their real name. I just go, what's up, Lady Lassen? How you doing? Horny Harley honkers, how are y'all?
Yeah, everybody called me Lady Lassen. I'm so used to it. Actually, I just I think maybe a month ago put my first name on my Instagram, so everybody's only known me as Lady Lassen, so it's okay.
It is okay. And I'm the complete opposite. When I found out what your real name is, I want to like make sure that I'm calling you by your real name because I feel like I know you like on a more personal level when I'm calling you by your government name.
I feel like I'm in trouble. Kristen.
Oh, that's funny. Did you have like any other nicknames other than Lady growing up? Or, like Chris? No. Did anybody call you Chris or just Kristen?
No, it's always been Kristen. My Mexican uncle used to call me Cri Cri, but that's about it.
Cri Cri. That's cute. And Brandi,
I don't know.
Brandi, nice to meet you finally virtually. I mean, we've been communicating, through Instagram and things like that. And we just missed each other in Sturgis when we were there. Yeah. I was so upset.
I was so sad. I was like, I wish I was riding with them.
Oh, I know.
So cool cruising Main Street, right?
Yeah.
So, well.
Yep.
I was coaching and I just saw you guys. Like, I heard the music and I looked and I was like, wait, hold on. And I looked a little closer and then I was like, okay, nobody's on the range. It's safe to dart over. So I ran over to the street to like try to wave you guys down, but then like turned.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and that's when you took the video of us riding by. That was fun.
Yeah, that was so cool.
Yeah. So welcome.
You guys are hard to miss now.
So bright, right?
Our bikes.
I love it.
Yeah, it was funny when we were talking about the paint schemes for those bikes. Everybody was like, oh, everybody's kind of going with earth tones this year, browns and some pastels. And I was like, neon. Let's go. Let's go bright as fuck. That's what I want to do.
I love it. Yeah, you guys stick out, and they look great. They're not I wouldn't say they're obnoxious. They look beautiful. So
thank you.
No,
very good job.
Yeah, thank you. That were fun to build. I mean, we talked about it on the podcast. Several podcasts. We're constantly talking about our bikes, but
we're like those annoying parents with their new kids.
Yeah. But it's yeah. But I was gonna say it's crazy to go from like a stock. I started out on a stock 883 Sportster, and I did some, upgrades to it, a little bit of some customizations, but going from that then to the Lowrider S, which I had when I met you, Kristen. I had just gotten the bike when we did that commercial for Stillhouse. So that was fun. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that. Of course I remember that. I loved you guys.
I know.
Yeah, we did I want to say it was October of 2020.
Yeah.
So
you and Stacy.
And I was trying to find women that rode in Atlanta and the surrounding areas, and then I found Z, and I was like, oh my God, I gotta have them and their crew on this shoot. And they were so willing. Z was awesome, rounded up a bunch of rad women, and we went out and rode and took pictures and had fun, and it was a blast. I loved that.
It was fun.
Core memory.
Yes. And Stacy was there, and she was taking pictures off the back of the truck, I think. Somebody was driving.
Yeah.
y'all even let me tag along. It was a good time.
Yeah.
And Seabear was out there doing stunts down in downtown Atlanta, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. We had to find a bike for him very last minute. And it was crazy because that bike ended up breaking down when we were trying to make our way back into Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And the voltage regulator went out. So we ended up switching bikes, and he just pushed me on that all the way back.
Oh, really?
They're so good at that.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Remember he had to push me down the hill from Mount Charleston.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
On an electric bike, and Jeff's really good at just using one foot to push us when the bikes break.
Just push you all the way back home.
That's hilarious.
Don't need no gas.
We rode the live wire when she first moved out to Vegas, and we went up to Mount Charleston for her first run up the mountain, our only getaway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we were coming down. Of course, that live wire battery, if you twist the throttle too much, it only goes 70, 80 miles. So
oh, wow.
A little too much fun on it.
Yeah, we were ripping that day, so it was for sure juiced out.
Oh, because of the charge, it only lasts 70, 80 miles.
Yeah, and going up a mountain, full throttle, yeah.
Yeah. If I would have been riding a little bit better, probably not taking off and enjoying it, then it would have lasted a little bit longer. But
yeah. I have no chill either, though. I'm pretty sure that you're like me. When I get on a bike, I want to ride. I'm not trying to cruise, I want to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Get to the destination. It's okay, cool. Where are we going? Let's get there.
Yeah, or just have fun, with this, and go push it to the limit, right? Push it to, the speed that you want. I don't know.
I mean, I like riding and taking in the view as well, just quickly.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's
how I blew up my motor. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, one thing I wanted to say to you guys was congratulations on the podcast. Daughters of the Road is doing really well. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Yeah, we are so stoked.
Yeah, how did it come about? I mean, where did the concept for it come from? How did you guys kind of put it together? Tell me all about the genesis of that.
So it actually started as a blog in like 2014, 2015. Really, I was just like calling up people and emailing people, interviewing people I've never met before, and I would put together these blogs. And I actually had Giselle help with that. She's one of the people that we interviewed, but she was writing blogs with me, and then it just, I don't know, I guess we obviously all moved away from Orlando, which was our hub where we were doing a lot of things together. So I kind of just focused in on my job at the time. So took a little bit of time off from Daughters of the Road interviewing. But then when I moved out to Vegas, meeting Brandi and having her collective of Sin City Moto girls kind of just like reignited that fire, I guess. And I told Brandi about this project and showed her what we were doing. And she was like, let's make it a podcast.
Wow.
So she showed me the studio that she had just recorded a podcast in with somebody else who has their own show. And I was like, let's send it. So we just like went from that day of going to the podcast studio and checking it out to, okay, we're committed. Let's do this. And it's been a resurrection since. So I'm really excited for it. It's been a long time in the making. It's just become a new format, I guess you would say. Yeah.
And more specific to like what's going on and what will catch people's attention these days, right? Because I mean, I do read blogs, but if I'm like working or doing things around the house, I'm not sitting at my computer or, on my phone. So to be able to listen to it in the background while I'm cleaning and things like that, that makes it more just being, it's easier to take in what you're doing.
Yeah, and people are very much limited attention these days. They don't like to read, so I get it. I was a big reader, and that's why, I love writing, so I love putting together those blogs, but then it drowned out the digital media world, just kind of threw up reels and short form media, and it just garnered a lot more attention. So I was like, all right, well, let's keep up with the times. I'm not just going to rot in this blog world. So
you're not the guy. You're not the guy standing by the printing press going, "This is it."
Right. Exactly. You young folk don't understand.
She is very, very talented when it comes to writing. So even though it's a digital world, we still have a goal.
I would love to write a book. Yeah, wow. That's my ultimate goal. I want, yes, one day.
Do it, girl. That would be awesome. Do you know what you would write about?
No, very good.
Probably just ramblings of the road and life lessons and just.
Her family's got some history of like motorcycle stuff, so I think it would be cool, like for her to document stuff that like her grandpa did in the past. And they can talk about like how the journey's gone through their entire family, which is cool.
Yeah, and I have like, if you go to my website, it's kind of funny because you can look back in like 2012 when I was writing blogs too. I would like write 10 lessons I've learned from a father who rides motorcycles or something, and it would be like all these things like turn your handlebars all to the right, and I'd make it some metaphor, and then a story would come from it, and then it's just like, I'm already basically writing a book at that point, but I just need to put it together. But I just love sharing stories. That's how it comes about in everything that we do, from social media to the podcast and everything. So
you can tell.
I love it.
Yeah, you can tell with just anything, like all your posts and things like that. You've put a lot of effort into it. And I don't know if that's effort, if it's just, obviously it's probably natural, being that you like to write. So you, the descriptions and your captions and things like that are really captivating.
Oh, thanks. Somebody reads them.
Yes.
Well, and it's also a pretty special talent to have to be a storyteller. I mean, everybody likes to fancy themselves a storyteller, but so few people are actually really good at it, that understand how to engage someone in the story and create a narrative through what they did. Like, a lot of people just kind of do things and then they kind of recount the events.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really know how to make it a narrative that engages someone emotionally and physically in that story. And you clearly do know how to do that. It comes through on the podcast. It comes through in everything that you do. So I like that. And it also, for me, and I'm not going to go on a tangent, but because the other stuff is so much easier to do. Like, we all know we kind of touched on this earlier, what the formula is for getting a lot of attention on social media. It's not that hard to do. So when you do it in a format which requires creative talent, storytelling, really taking time to consider the product that you're putting out and not just doing it as a look at me type of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I hope you do more of it, because we need more of that in the space, because that other noise, the spam is what I like to refer to it as, is very loud.
It is.
Yeah, for sure. And I agree. And I wrote something today when we released one of our new reels about the podcast we just dropped, and basically saying that these conversations are really intentional and they have purpose behind it, where we dive deep into these people's lives and their stories. And every person has a unique story. So it's awesome to be able to give them that safe space for them to open up and then share life lessons on how we can better ourselves and better maybe our motorcycle journey. And then that just turns into everything that we're doing in life. So it's been super, just, I don't know, it's like an honorable journey, I guess, that we get to create this space. And, it's definitely not about us. It's about everybody that we get to share time and space with and conversation. And I just feel like, every moment is so special when we get to go behind that microphone and, listen to everybody. It's just the coolest thing.
It is, right? And it comes across, by the way. So like, you guys can really see, you can really see the passion behind it, and the genuine interest that you're engaging in while you're having these conversations. So keep it up. Keep it up. That's awesome.
Yeah. Thanks. It's so easy to throw up a new t-shirt and put, Daughters of the Road or something on it, and it's just a brand. And then at that point, you're just like, what am I representing? What's my purpose behind this? Is it just a cool shirt? Well, I want to be more than that. Mm-hmm. And, I feel like when somebody puts on our collaborative shirt, we did a long sleeve t-shirt that's collabed with Wide Open Brew, a coffee company. And I'm like, wow, we have a story to tell by this collaboration. It's not just us, it's these people who have the same purpose and drive. And then it shares a little story on the shirt, and it's like, I don't know. I think it's just a bigger purpose. So that's what makes it more of a passion project than, just a brand.
Right. That's great.
Fuels our fires, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So hearing other people's stories.
Yeah. Me too. That's kind of why Chcuck and I've gotten into it. It's, the motorcycle community. I didn't grow up riding bikes like you, lady. I got into it almost 8 years ago, because Chcuck introduced me. And so, but I immediately fell in love with it. And it was something that I just have a passion for it, right? It's something that I have to do on a regular basis, or else, I'll get depressed or whatever. I need that therapy. But not only that, just how it's kind of led me into this community of people that I had no idea existed, right? It's just really, really interesting. So what Chcuck and I, we've actually started doing this, I would say 5 or 6 years ago. We were starting the podcast and doing little short videos and stuff like that. And then as time went on, we decided that we wanted to get deeper as our roots grew deeper in the communities. We wanted to, share, some people that we thought were interesting that rode, but maybe, had something else on the side that they were doing, a professional job, or maybe they're, a business. And we wanted to share that with people and talk to them, the people that we found interesting. So it's been fun.
Yeah, that's so awesome. It's crazy because, I mean, while we all share the same vehicle, I guess, of interest, everybody's lives are so different. Like, we had a CrossFit athlete on, we had now a race car driver coming up, like a massage therapist, a mechanic. Like, everybody's stories are so different, but we're all unified by motorcycles and have that common interest, so we can speak on it and talk forever.
Yeah. It's interesting because we are all so different. We just had a PA on the podcast too, and it's just like, wow, like I would have never had these interactions with these people if it wasn't for a motorcycle. Like that was what like caught our eye, of course, like, oh, you ride, okay. But then it's like, wow, a whole different world. Like you would have never known them if it would have been for motorcycles.
Yeah, or never dived into a deeper relationship, I guess. Like it just opens up a conversation to, be able to create more memories. I love that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
My story is kind of similar to yours too, Z. I got introduced, like I always knew my dad rode, but I didn't start riding when I was little. I had friends that had dirt bikes and quads and stuff, and I got to play on those, but we never owned anything like that growing up. So I started riding in 2010. My ex-husband was the one that I rode behind him, and I was like, yeah, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
On my own.
Yeah. How long did you ride behind?
One trip to Lassen.
Didn't last. Had to get her motorcycle endorsement right away.
Then it was the goal. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get back and I'm gonna figure this out. And, like life.
Yeah.
I worked full time and stuff, so I didn't do it right away. It was like October when I went and took the class, and then I got finished with my class, and he was stoked about me riding my own too. So he got me a Softail. I had a Deluxe as my first bike, and it didn't take any time for me to start customizing it. Like I did full paint job on it, bars, wheels, everything.
I wish I had a picture, like just to put up right now of it.
It's
amazing.
Cycles that I built are retarded. Oh,
So you went hard immediately. You didn't even like have a lead up period. You just said, I'm all in.
I was all in. I was like, okay, this is what I want. This is what my vision. And
yeah.
It wasn't until the second bike that I built that I really went deep, like fully pulled a road glide apart and extended bags and 26-inch front wheel and craziness. But it was a lot of fun. Producing it, writing it, and then letting it
go. Wow, that's awesome. So what do you ride now? I guess we'll start with you, Brandi.
I've got a lowrider S that I'm riding right now.
Yeah.
And your Dyna.
I have Dyna, the 01 Dyna that I absolutely love.
Yeah.
And then I have an 03 Dyna that I just track. So whenever there's track days, I'll go out and run the 03.
Oh, fun.
My apologies. What year is your lowrider?
22.
Okay. Have you done anything to it, or is it fairly stock? Or I'm sure it's not.
No, it's got front and rear Legend suspension, Memphis shade on the front,
carbon fiber.
It
looks like it. Yeah. It looks so good. And then Bassani exhaust. This is the bottom.
Yeah.
The Bassani exhaust.
Kraus handlebars.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the 22 is the 114, right? That's the 117. Nice. That's got some torque. That thing torquey.
Feeling parts on it, then I'll be real happy.
Brap, brap, brap.
Yep, that brap.
Absolutely. And
then she's got a dirt bike and a Grom and
damn,
all sorts of things. Side by side, yeah.
And you, lady?
I've got the Heritage that I ride.
Yeah.
Pretty much, that's my go-to. And then I have an FXR that's being built for Daughters of the Road, an FXRS specifically, and then I've got an FXRP in Florida. Got a shovel head that's been in the works for way too long, so I don't know if that's gonna hit the back burner forever, but we'll see. Mm-hmm. And then got a little XR100, a Grom, a dirt bike, a KTM 350, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah. That's awesome. Did you get your engine rebuilt on your Heritage?
Yes, thank goodness. Finally, I've had it since Sturgis, so it was
okay.
It was trailered to Sturgis, and I did my first break-in miles in Sturgis, and then been spending this time breaking it in. And I've got a dyno appointment on Thursday, I guess. I drop it off Wednesday, but
get it all tuned
gonna get
up.
a break-in procedure, and then I'll be ready to take it on the road again.
Fun.
That's not too far from what we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we took our bikes up to Sturgis this year, they only had right at 500 miles on them because I got the 500 miles in, got it serviced, and then we rode the hell out of them in Sturgis.
Yep.
We just took them in to get some more little upgrade things done that we wanted to get done. But we've only put like 3,000 miles on them so far, so I'm itching to ride more.
I know.
It's gonna be perfect weather out there too.
It is. Our fall weather is amazing.
Yes.
If it's not raining too hard, but we have different colors in the fall. So you see the leaves changing and
that's
really
when she was here
in the mountains.
Yeah, because remember when she went up to
that. Oh, that's right. You were here in October, so you saw.
She went to the cabin. Remember she did that other part with the little campfire thing? Yeah. It was.
And the Suches, is it Suches?
Yeah. The Suches Loop? Yeah.
And then is it Georgetown or Brasstown Balls?
Yeah.
Dang,
you remember.
That was good.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then Two Wheels of Suches, I think, was the campground that we went to.
Yep.
That was super cool. It's like a motorcycle only campground.
Yep.
And it's so beautiful. Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, it's really phenomenal riding out there too. There's a lot of twisties. There's actual elevation in northern Georgia, so definitely recommend.
Yeah.
There you go. She's co-signing.
That's right.
What we always say.
Yeah, beautiful riding. Love it. Would 10 out of 10 go there, especially in fall.
Yeah.
How
well.
did you guys deal with all the rain and Sturgis?
Dude, I was so bummed. No, I mean,
we rode in the rain one day.
It was kind of disappointing this year because it's only my second year going. So last year was amazing, like 0 rain. I think it probably sprinkled one day. But this year we went and it was like 3 days out of 6 that we were there. It rained.
Yeah.
Like all day.
We still had a good time. I mean, we still made it fun, but it did suck. There was one day where it was really bad, and I had this experience where, you buy the food from the street vendors, like right there, right? And so
on Main Street.
Right. So it's pouring rain and everybody's huddled under these tents and I'm starving.
Yeah.
So I go over there to get the food and I don't know what she's doing, but she hands me my food. I hand her a 20. She walks away. I'm literally standing there getting drenched for like 5 minutes. Then she comes over and can't figure out my change. And I was, and by the time I was, ma'am, just keep it. Can I go? And so I left. But by the time I got over to the tent, like it was just soggy. I was so I couldn't eat it. I was so disappointed. It was a rough day. That was probably the worst day I've ever had in Sturgis. I've only had so many.
Nice. I would have just handed it back.
Right? Give me a new one.
I'm like, you hold this.
I am a little bit weird when it comes to that because I immediately go, this woman is also miserable right now too. I mean, whatever was going on, she probably felt embarrassed. She couldn't get it right or whatever. And I wasn't going to go ruin her day, but you're right. I probably should have. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, put it under. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
that's true. So,
he's thinking too hard.
I know, right? I just want to go eat.
He gets weird about food too, like like going to a restaurant and like sending it back. He won't do that.
I won't send food back. I just want to eat.
I know. I'm the complete opposite. Like I'm not like a bitch when it comes to like the food service, but I am when it comes to customer service, right? It's just like a level of customer service that I expect when, especially when you're dealing with food. So I don't know. I just get irritated kind of quickly when it comes to people just not being competent about that kind of stuff.
See, I don't know why. So like Z, if we go into the restaurant and they're like, would you know, they try to take us to a table. Well, that ain't good enough. We're not getting a table. She wants a booth and she's going to let them know she wants a booth, which is fine. Whereas I'm always like, oh, they're going to spit in our food.
Isn't that the theory that there's always one person in the relationship that like will send food back and then the other person like relies on that person to send their food back?
That's funny. I never thought about that, but I guess that is true, right?
Yeah. It's like a guy that doesn't speak up for himself is always getting a Hispanic lady that will.
It's interesting because we have such a Lego block relationship in that we connect in certain ways, whereas like I won't do that. But there are other areas that she wouldn't speak up for herself where I'm like over the top, like angry about stuff. So it kind of works out well. We have a pretty good push and pull when it comes to that kind of stuff.
That's true.
Good teammates. That's what makes a lasting relationship.
Absolutely. Yeah.
She's all right.
I love it.
So you said that you're going to Costa Rica soon. When is this trip planned?
Yeah. So, well, first we're going on this cruise. So we got High Seas Rally. Oh, yeah. Which is a motorcycle rally on a cruise. Yeah. Which is crazy to me.
I've heard
But they're going to have like
questions.
I mean, yeah, like Paul Yaffe. There's like Lead Sled Customs. This guy, Magic Mike from Vegas. He's a bike builder going. There's the Parowitz. All sorts of people that are like special guests on here. And then there's a ton of motorcycle enthusiasts that go on this cruise ship, and there's Halloween during it. So that's going to be a madness. Where
are you riding? Where are you riding?
So there's no riding. Crazy. We just I wonder if there's going to be like electric wheelchairs or something. But no, there's no riding, unfortunately. They are giving away a motorcycle, and it's all benefits. There's like I want to say it's what is that called? It's a health concern.
Okay, like cancer or something
right now. But they're raising money, yes.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool. And then I think the builders bring bikes on the ship, but nobody rides. I guess you can't really do that on a ship.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, just those egg questions.
I was curious though. That was one of my thoughts. I was like, well, how are they going to do that? Like, is so many people going to be allowed to bring their bikes on the ship? Like, these were the thoughts that went through my head too. So Chuck, we're on the same page.
Yeah, just doing a lap around the bow. Just
hey, I mean that's gonna be us doing 75 hard on the cruise. Just running laps.
I gotta get my wind therapy in.
So is it still going on at that time? When did you start? How many days into this are you?
Oh, that's right. You're doing this crazy fitness thing.
75 hard. 20 days in today. And yes, I am going to be doing that during the cruise. And then a week later, we go to Costa Rica. Well, not even a week later. It's like 4 days later. So we go to Costa Rica from November 10th through 16th. And we're basically hiking a volcano, jumping out into a waterfall, doing canyoneering.
Yeah.
Going into a national forest and checking out a bunch of monkeys and stuff. And scuba diving. There's so much. It's going to be fun.
UTV little things, so we'll get some riding in. We haven't decided what we're gonna ride yet, but
okay.
Yeah, that's figure that out. One day in a little beach town called Jaco. Yeah. We're gonna go off-roading, so I'm excited for that. There's so much to look forward to.
That's so cool.
And it's cool because we're not staying in one place in Costa Rica. We're actually gonna be in a different location pretty much every day. So we won't stay in just one spot. We're not like at a hotel or resort the entire time. We're exploring and
That's awesome. And it's you two, and then are you having other people join you, or is it just the two of you?
Girl, we have a group of 13.
Oh, wow.
Oh, maybe it is
16.
Something like that. 13 to 16 people.
That's a lot.
Yep.
Wow.
And it's like a big ass girl group actually. So it's pretty cool. They mostly all ride motorcycles. I think they all do.
Okay.
And then her nephew as well. So it's gonna be a blast. I'm so excited.
Oh, fun.
Last trip home, I put my nephew on my bra on my road home, so I'm stoked. Now, if we do something like motorcycle related, I feel confident enough to be next to him.
Yeah.
For him to be able to like stay for a second gear. He'll be fine.
How old's your nephew?
He's 22, but I left home when he was 3.
Okay.
This is like our first trip we get to take together and learn more about one another.
Lucky guy. He gets to be all around all these women. The only guy.
I know.
At 22. Trapped on a boat. No, not on a boat.
I asked him, I was like, are you sure you want to go, Bubba? Like, it's just going to be a bunch of us girls, but I don't want to. He was so excited about when I told him about it.
Yeah.
So I was like, if you decided you don't want to come because it is just girls, like, I'll figure something out for me and you to do. Like, you can go to Seattle or do something fun. And he was like, no, Nancy, it's okay. Like, I'm down. Mind you, he's my niece, my mom, me, and my other sister. It's been all girls his entire life.
Yeah, so he's used to it then.
I understand him not caring. He's used to it.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, lady, tell me about this fitness thing you're doing. You were saying something about it earlier. It sounded kind of nutty. What was it?
75 hard. It is nutty. It's actually a mental discipline program is what it's actually aiming to be. The 75 days is kind of arbitrary. It came from Andy Frisella. He has the MFC, I guess it's called a Real AF podcast now, but I listened to it back when I was MF CEO, and he had a contest with his friends that he could lose a certain amount of pounds by a certain date, and that date ended up being 75 days from when he said that. So that's why he made it 75 hard. And he markets it as a mental discipline program, but a lot of people have used it like as a fitness program, which I wouldn't quite recommend, but you do make your own fitness plan that you stick to, but you have to do 2 workouts a day, 45 minutes each. One has to be outdoors. And you stick to a diet plan, no cheat meals, no alcohol. You read a book, 10 pages a day. You take a progress photo every day. And I think that's it. Yeah, that sounds like it.
Yeah.
You said water, right?
Yeah. Oh, and drink a gallon of water.
A gallon of water a day.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
I mean,
I got my big old gallon.
Yeah.
Hey, Sharon, that camera's doing weird. Just go to the wide one on me.
Will do.
Now.
Will do.
Yep.
That's crazy. So you're 20 days in, and you'll be still on this program during the High Seas Rally and Costa Rica?
And Costa Rica, yeah.
And the fall foliage ride you're going
to the Northeast to see the leaves change and go right around. So, yeah, also that.
Oh, wow. So is that, like, what part of the Northeast are you going?
The New Hampshire, kind of like Boston, Salem, like all those places. So, yeah, it'll be fun. I just got to figure out how I'm going to do it all.
Yeah.
Which I know she will have no problem doing because she plans everything. So her day is like down to the second.
Yeah.
I guarantee she'll be able to handle it.
I need to get on your plan with my organization.
I try. Yeah, you know, I mean, it's not really down to the second. But when I need to do something, I definitely, make a plan.
Yeah.
So. And I'm very much so not that. I'm like, okay, today's 3 o'clock. I definitely need to get a workout and stuff. Let me see what I can book. Kristen's like, that's a whole week. She's like 45 minutes here, 30 minutes here.
Yeah.
An hour here. And I'm like, I'm going to get there someday. But today, it's not going to happen today.
Yeah. It's called trauma.
Yeah. Did you have something you wanted to add?
Yeah, you guys have obviously ridden a ton of crazy places, and I love riding stories. So what are some of your favorite rides that you've been on?
Oh, Lord. There's so many.
I think Belize, honestly.
Oh, Belize was so cool.
Last this year, Kristen had wrote about a lady that has a writing school or like a adventure company.
Yeah, it's like a tourism kind of company. She's a certified tour guide in Belize. And I interviewed her in 2017 for the blog. And it took us from 2017 to 2023 to make it happen, but we did it. And took a little group out there to Belize, rode dirt bikes through all these places, and it was just another world. It was amazing. And she has a little hostel that she built herself, and she maintains those bikes by herself, and she just got a worker that helps her out every now and then. But yeah, she's a force.
Yeah, that's rad. So that was cool because I didn't know what to expect, and I really like the only out of the country experiences I'd ever had were to Mexico. Like,
yeah,
not really very far. So going to Belize, I was excited because I had no idea what to expect, and it was crazy beautiful. And just having Emma to show us around and take us places that were safe for us to be riding motorcycles off road was rad. So
that's awesome.
I'd say Belize is my favorite. Like, of course, in the U.S., there's a ton of roads that we've had the opportunity to ride that are rad, but just being away from home, like safe space and not knowing what was out there and getting out there and feeling safe and having fun, definitely a great ride. My favorite.
That's cool.
Yeah. I think domestically, like Beartooth Pass was one of my favorites. Oh my gosh. I love it out there. Like Wyoming, like Montana areas. So phenomenal. Utah's phenomenal too. Oh my God. There's so much good riding, especially out west. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, it was funny because when I was down south, I got so just tired of our riding. Like there was only so many times you ride to the beach and then you're just like, all right, I need something different. So I would always escape and ride across the country. It would be like a yearly thing. I would just hit the road for a month and quit my job at the time and be super young and free and just on the road and loved it. But now that I'm out west, I'm like, man, all this stuff's in my backyard and I can literally just spend the weekend and see something incredible and then make it back for my life, so it's cool. I love that I had to move out west.
That's kind of a little bit of a connection here, but I have been watching a lot of documentaries about the founding of America and talking about the men who traversed the country in order to establish colonies. Obviously there's a lot of darkness there that we will just for the sake of the story skip over. But my point is that as I was watching this documentary and they were talking about these men traversing this territory that no man had ever, like for instance, they said something about Thomas Jefferson had to cross 6 rivers every day he went home, right?
Oh my gosh.
They didn't have bridges. He had to like get in a boat or either walk across and then you listen to the stories about Lewis and Clark and them exploring this territory. And I'm telling you all of that because of this one line. There's a line in the documentary that I love, and it's a great way to explain the United States, is that we have every feature here that you can find everywhere else in the world. So, so like you can go to other countries and they may have like a Grand Canyon style of thing, but they don't have the other stuff that we also have, that we have every type of terrain that you can find elsewhere in the world here in the United States. And I think that's one of the major reasons why we're such a rich country is because of the geography of this place and the tourism that can come here because of it. Plus, us exploring our own country. And so I feel when I watch those documentaries, I feel like a straight bitch when I'm like, I don't know if I want to ride my motorcycle all the way across the country. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, I have roads and hotels and tents, and these guys were walking.
Yeah.
They were stagecoaching and dodging arrows from tribes and disease
Imagine summiting the Grand Canyon the first time anyone's seen it.
Yeah. No.
Right?
I always think about that and go, what must that have been like to come up on the Mississippi River for the first time?
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah. And then, I mean, we still get to feel those, experiences. I mean, obviously we are civilized now and have structures and stuff. And
we've
there's got to
separated
be a sign
from the wild.
Something. But, when you get to experience that for yourself, it's also a different sort of experience. So I love that.
It is. Yeah. There are times when
see it for myself.
You'll, and it's basically like so many different, like you come around a corner, like you were talking about in Sturgis or in Utah where we've ridden, or in Hawaii or whatever. And you just see this expanse of landscape and you can't explain why you're just immediately, I'll admit it, you immediately feel like an emotional, like a welling up of like just at the awe of what you're seeing. But I also get it sometimes in the morning when I'm riding down a curvy road and the light's hanging over and it's like some shit from the Lord of the Rings, and then I brap through it. Those moments on a motorcycle are just amazing. Sorry, I went on a tangent. But.
No, I love that.
That's true. I love that.
So too. True. Chuck, I do have a question for you.
Okay.
How many times a day do you think about the Roman Empire?
That's a great question.
Constantly. I think about great societies quite a bit. I am fascinated with the patterns in history, like the historical events and the patterns of mankind and how they build up and then destroy themselves. And Rome is one of the ones that it's like when you read about it, they should have seen it, right? But they just kept doing the same shit over and over and over again until it was their own destruction. Yeah. And I just think there's such a lesson there, like for current society.
He's serious too. He's really serious.
I am. Like I
He's into it.
Oh, I am. Like, no, this stuff is
I love it.
It's fascinating.
Welcome to my world, ladies. Welcome to my world.
I love this. No, because it's a thing that's going around and everybody's like, you guys, it's real that men literally think about the Roman Empire pretty much every day.
We do.
It's like innate in their system.
It is. It is.
So crazy. I didn't even know that was a thing. So I need to read up on that.
Me either.
Yep.
Huh. Yeah, because he does bring it up like every day.
About the Roman.
But see, I will say though, it's not limited to the Roman Empire.
No.
I'm fascinated by the Mongols. I'm fascinated by Chinese empires. I'm fascinated by Napoleon. I'm even fascinated about some of the systems that exist today, like North Korea.
Yeah.
Like I'm incredibly fascinated by the fact that exists in 2023, a place where people have been convinced their president's a god. In 2023, that stuff is so interesting to me, and I think it speaks a lot to the human condition. Sorry, are you sorry you brought it up?
It does. Yeah, no, it totally does, because I mean that's the art of influence and persuasion and propaganda, and how you can literally shift a culture with words. Isn't that crazy?
It is, and I think we're seeing things today that people have warned us about. And it's one of those things that I never understand. You get warned about this stuff over and over and over again, and yet you see it propagated. You go all the way back to recent history with Malcolm X, and I'm sure I'm paraphrasing what he said because I don't remember the exact phrasing, but he said that the media is the most powerful entity on the planet because it can make the hero the villain and the villain the hero. And the reality is what he's basically telling you is that you just cannot trust what another human being tells you about other people. And unfortunately, that's all we do these days. And we take it in hook, line, and sinker,
So true.
Right. Yeah. It takes such discernment to be able to like sift through all the crazy shit that's thrown your way. And because you are getting such opposing ideas every day, whether it be on social media or the news outlets or whatever, and you're like, what do I believe?
Correct.
I have no idea. So it takes like literally like having to deep dive into other, cultural revolutions from back in the day and see what patterns may be existing, and then kind of take like a macro look at society and say like, oh my God, this is a pattern that's repeating itself right now.
And it's funny because
take that.
Agree. And even what you just said, as to marry it to what I said about it being so obvious, but yet we fall for it constantly as societies over and over and over again. Humanity falls for it over and over and over again. That whole division that you're talking about is intentional, because if we were ever unconfused, we were ever unified in the same direction, we would realize that those that we elect to govern us have been taking advantage of us for a very long time. And so the best way to keep that from happening is to divide us and have us pretend that, it's my friend who's my problem, not the government.
Yeah.
That's what if you want to get my conspiracy addled mind, I think all this stuff is intentional. I just do.
Absolutely.
It feels intentional.
It's not conspiracy. It's real. And that's the crazy thing. I mean, they keep you confused. They keep you annoyed and not wanting to participate because they're just like, okay, well, we're just going to keep pushing something until it gets boring, then the next thing, and then they're going to try to switch your attention here and here and here. And then it's just like, nobody wants to pay attention. And then, wow, lo and behold, the docile person will no longer be receiving what you're putting out and don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they want you to do.
Not only do we not want to pay attention, we can't. I mean, we don't.
Yeah.
If you think about the human as an entity, it's the exact same on an evolutionary scale as it was 10,000 years ago. Yet our technology has advanced on this incredible scale that we can't possibly hope to keep up with. There's no way we could take in everything that comes our way every day. It's just not possible.
No.
It's just not. Yeah.
No, and that's why you have to be intentional about the content that you consume.
Yeah.
And, when you do contribute to social media, make sure that it's authentic, make sure that, you have a purpose, a driving force behind it. And I don't know, I just love people that maybe think different, think out of the box, but are real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's why, shows like this, what we're trying to do, Daughters of the Road, it puts you back on a path that's like, okay, this is the real shit. This is what matters. Let's be humans. Let's be civilized. Let's have open dialogue about shit that matters.
Right.
And,
instead of being keyboard combat,
Instead of being a piss pirate.
Keyboard warriors. There you go.
Yeah, keyboard warriors. Yeah.
I said piss pirate.
Piss pirates. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know that it's getting close to an hour, but we just appreciate you guys for coming on. Yeah. Enjoyed the conversation. I mean, we can go hours and hours, especially talking about, things that we are super interested in. So hope to have you guys back on. Is there anything you want to share with our audience?
Yeah. So, besides our, personal journeys, we pretty much do everything together. So you can find us collectively on Daughters of the Road. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the jazz. Anywhere you consume content, we're probably on it. And we just, appreciate if people took the time to listen to everybody's stories that we've had on. And if they like it, then let us know, and let us know what nugget of advice you implemented today.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. We love going deep. So we'll have you guys on, and we'll, dig deeper into these conversations that really get your mind thinking, because a lot of, what people consume these days is very surface level. And Chcuck especially, he's gotten me on that, into history and into understanding different sides of politics. Because before I met him, I was one of those people that just wanted to be ignorant to everything, because everybody seemed to be arguing about everything, not being on the same page. As I was growing up, there were just a lot of different things that I didn't understand about. And plus experience and time and growing with age kind of puts you a little bit more in tune to what reality is and what's happening out there too. So.
Yeah. because then you got to pay taxes.
Right.
Where's this money going? There seem to have
trying to have a business.
I know. And then you see them, what they do with it, and you're like,
yeah,
I want it back. Anyways.
Yeah.
Well, I also just real quick, I'll sign off with this, but I also wanted to thank you, like as much as I've said things similar to my wife in the past. Thank you for being such a positive influence out there. I think it's sorely needed within the community. While I do think the vast majority of the motorcycle community is warm and open and embracing, there is an element that's not, and I like it when I see, strong people out there doing awesome shit like you guys do. You always make me smile when I'm checking out y'all's social media and listening to the podcast. So thank you so much for putting it out there and putting the effort into it. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We appreciate you guys for this platform. We're so excited for you.
Right.
Oh, thank
Can't
you.
wait to see.
Can't wait to ride again.
Keep growing.
Cannot wait to ride again. So when you're out the way or we're out your way, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
All right, Zee, sign us off.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining our show. Make sure to check us out on Instagram and like and subscribe.
We're on Spotify, too.
And Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
And Apple Podcasts and Facebook.
And Facebook. But yeah.
All right.
Make sure you let us know what you think about this particular podcast. Leave a comment. Thank you.
All right. Shiny side up. Stay safe.
Bye-bye.
Deuces.
Bye.